Welcome back to Beekeeping Basics with Danny. So this is kind of a part 2 on yesterday when we looked into that hive and then we went into that hive. It was all of a bit of a rush and tear. It was getting cold, it was getting late, and we noticed numerous queen cells in there. It did take a lot of them down to bide me a little bit of time. Not really, that's overly going to help by looking into it. If they're going to swarm, they're going to swarm. We do have a nuke box there, so my plan is to split that, leaving the original queen still into that hive, taking 6 frames out of there into there with honey stalls, cat brood, brood in all stages, etc. And we'll offload it into there, making sure we obviously have the queen cells if 24 hours is enough for them to start producing more, which it should be, but it is 24-48. So we'll have a look. If they've not really produced queen cells, we'll go one more day, and tomorrow we will 100% do that split and put it into that box. But we will see. Hopefully they have, and then we'll make sure that them queen cells go into that box. We will then double check that there's no more left in there. Crucial point, that there's no more left in there. Then hopefully that will then keep that hive from swarming. We have a new one which a fellow beekeeper of mine is going to take, because I don't want to expand any more than I already have. She's got a hive ready to go with that hive over 3 miles away, so better luck, that's how it plans out. But what I want to do first and foremost is, we've left this hive for quite a while now. I'm going to go into here and see if we can find hopefully a new mated queen. If we do, we've got our queen catcher. We're going to catch her up, also mark her with the new blue pen for 2025. So without further ado let's get into this hive here. Okay, so we'll make a start. We did open, was it this one we opened up? We did. I don't think it was this one yesterday, but I did have a look in here a couple of days ago, just to see if any bees had moved up. Obviously there'd been no kind of cat brood or anything in here, for the simple reason, that, you know, this has been producing its own queen for a little while now, so it slowed it right down effectively. So what we do is get this off of the queen excluder. And when they never had a queen, they was slightly antsy, no two ways about it, and they haven't been now, so let's just hope that we do have this mated queen in here. So they've not been doing much in the way of any kind of combing out. We'll move that honey super out of the way there. And again, you know, it's always a little bit tricky looking for a brand new queen that's unmarked. So we'll double check everything and everywhere. We swap these around, we alternated, that's the word, these frames to try and push the bees up the top the other week, in respect as to why they're like this at the moment. So taking a good thorough look, just in case for any reason this new queen is up here. And we had a successful one with the nuke over the back there. Well, I opened that up the other day and we did have a nice newly mated queen, and that was 100% was swarmed out of this hive, 100%. I can tell by the number of bees in it, if I'm completely honest with you. It's starting to comb out, as you can see. And remember, queens, new queens, can be a little bit tricky to find, but that's a lovely bit of new comb. They've started to comb out, and that's what I want these bees to start effectively doing anyway. It's been a busy couple of days with these bees, I'm not going to lie. With yesterday and today, you get weeks like that. Last week was fine, got to do everything that I needed to do, and then you get another week where, you know, the bees won't wait. The bees want what the bees want, and unfortunately there's no hanging around. And that's one part of beekeeping. If you want to start, you want to learn, unfortunately this is how they are. I mean, I'm lucky, I do have them in my back garden. I'm very lucky, so I can keep an eye, I can get to them whenever I want to get to them. And if they do swarms, generally I will notice that they've done them and they're around not too far away. I've been pretty successful with 2 swarms, 3 swarms that I've had from my hives, although I do still think that one of them last year wasn't, but I've managed to catch them all, so it's always a good point. If I had them in an allotment or somewhere like that, sometimes then when they may swarm, and you may not know until you go into your hive, and that's the telltale sign that they've swarmed. So what we're going to do then, no queen as such into this box. And if you watched my videos previously, you know that these were by far more bees in this. So we will start with one that looks like it has the most room to get out, and I'm going to go with this one. And again, we could always look for any kind of new larvae, cat brood or anything like that. That will straight away tell us that there is a queen present in this hive. So there is the queen cell, or one of a queen cell, and if you look, is empty. So keeping a good look about, lots of different queen cells on this. We can now actually remove that. I do believe it's safe to do that. And there's no queen in it, so what was ever in there come out successfully. Again, we'll just take this off of here. There's no sign of any new queen on that, but she generally would be in the middle anyways. So again, giving it a good thorough check. Again, queen cells that have been opened. The lip still up on it, you know, there. The lip is still up on that queen cell where she emerged. Take that away, no longer required. But there's no real signing of a queen on that. And it was certainly a good 14 days ago when I see the last queen cell in this hive, and it was literally at the brown end cap on it, and it was ready to come out. So you'd like to think a good 14 days she'd been out, got mated, come back. That's what you would like to think. And that is what I'm really hoping, if I'm completely honest with you. Can't see any signs of any kind of eggs or anything like that. You know, sometimes the strangest things do happen and they don't come back. They go out to get mated and they don't come back. You know, that is sometimes what happens. I'm just hoping that's not going to be my luck today and we do find a mated queen. Sometimes there's nothing worse than actually trying to find a new queen, because believe it or not, that dot that we paint on them, it does make it easier. And I've done this before, and I've looked and I've looked and I've looked and convinced myself I had no queen. I went and bought one, went to put the queen in, and blow me down, I found the queen in there. That's how tricky it can be. It really is. Another uncapped queen cell, and I did leave a lot in here. So you'd like to think I've got one queen out of this lot. You really would. Nothing as yet. Can't see her as of yet. No sign of any kind of laying neither. No. Come on, Queenie, you've got to be in here. You've got to have a queen in this hive. Don't want to set this back any longer than I need to. Nothing visible. We may still have a virgin queen in there, who knows? And they're even harder to find. They really are. No. Giving it a little blow just to move some bees about, just in case they're huddling her. But no. I physically can't see anything at the moment. Queen wise. The more we push to the back, the more or less likely we are going to find one, which then becomes even more frustrating. No, I can't seem to find a queen, which is really annoying for me, because I was really hoping I would have spotted a queen pretty much straight away, just to move forward, and I can't see anything. No, I really can't see anything that corresponds to a queen, unless she's just being really hard to find. I haven't been in there for quite a while, so there's certainly no larvae in here. May well be too early for any kind of larvae. Lots of drones on there. I just don't see any sign of a queen, and that is so frustrating. I know they're hard to find, but that is so frustrating for me. Yeah. No, just literally can't see anything. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. We're on the last frame of honey. Again, nope. I'm not buying that. I'm really not buying that. They do get very hard to find, and I will go back through and have another look, because I'm not happy with the fact that I haven't found it. Just gonna lay that on there. Okay, so we're going to take a look in this. Now I'm wondering, like, I've been through that hive and unfortunately I didn't come across the queen, and to be frank, I'm really annoyed with that. I do know I have a queen in here because I've seen her. I have seen a queen in this, so I'm going to have another look, make sure that she's okay for a start. So what we'll do is we'll just get one of these out and just see how they're doing in general, because you know what, I'm pretty sure this swarm was from that hive, but if I could introduce this back into that hive, would be excellent. I don't know whether you can, because we're now wanting a queen and we do have one. Well, the last time I looked we certainly did. I didn't mark her last time, I just saw her in here. Again, looking for a queen can be slightly tricky. But 100% I saw a queen in here. There, she is there. So that's excellent, because what I want to do is catch hold of this queen, if we can. Hoping I'm not squashing any bees in there with our little catcher, and she is 100% mated. This can be a little tricky, because what we don't want to do is obviously damage her or stress her out that she wants to go and try and fly away. So some would say just pick her up, but I'm not for that. If I can just get her into here. And there we have it. So there we have our mated queen in there, like so. We're going to give her a mark up. There now. So what we do is, I try and do this on the camera. So we turn this, and what we need to try and do with her is get her on the other way around. So hopefully we can turn her over, is the plan. We can turn her the other way, like that. That's it. Now once we've got her in the desired place, like there, perfect, we can then give her the nice blue dot that she needs, just letting it dry. Being very gentle not to squash this queen right now, because I don't want any more mishaps. So she has a nice blue dot on her in there, in the desired place. And this was what I was hoping to find in that. in that hive over there, and unfortunately we never, you know, and you can generally come across them relatively quickly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave that there. I'm just going to have a little look to see if she started laying any eggs or anything in this just quickly whilst it's open. I've certainly combed it out nicely, so that's given her the room that she's going to want. I'd love to be able to put this into that hive and give them these bees, these frames and that queen. A hive tool would certainly help right now. Probably getting a little bit angsty now because I've taken that queen out. It will. So a little bit of larvae in there. She is starting to lay. So what we'll do, we won't aggravate these any more than we need to, and we'll put her back in. Getting this all back together first, so we can literally just drop the lid back on. So literally making sure that she's over her frame, so she can only walk back in. And there she goes. She's back in. We're going to keep an eye on her. There she is, keeping an eye all the time. And then we just offload the lid back on. As quickly as we can, moving any excess bees out of the way. Fortunately, there's always going to be a couple that get squashed but can't hang around no longer. So that's on. So because I took the queen out, they got a little bit angsty with that. I'm sure they'll soon calm down. So that's that.